I get rock hard quickly and stay hard for hours, but on average, it can take me for 2 to
Ian,
3 hours.
This is a family show. You can't say rock hard. We're not going to have intro music. We're not going to have any of that fancy stuff that we normally have, at least not in this live feed. And we're going to wing it.
But in post-production.
Yeah. Post-production. I'll probably post this tomorrow. And like to the actual podcast. So it'll be edited and all that. And Kevin's not here. He's I don't know if I can say what he's doing actually, because it's against the law. He is breaking the law.
Is he congregating with 10 or more people?
I would never.
You would never out him like that?
I would never out him now. But, he basically said it's been 31 days going to break the law. This eye looks so weird with this light. Let me move this light.
All right. I'll allow it. Let me move this light. Oh, wait, I can't. It's the sun. You should try cracking a window like I have. Like this is light I can't really move.
You don't have windows in a professional podcast studio.
Oh. The reverberation's too strong.
So, no intro music, no Kevin, because he's breaking the law. We do have.
Is he performing a non-essential activity of some sort?
I think it's essential, but it's essential, right? Like,
sure.
This is the Testosterone podcast. I think we can talk about sex being essential, right?
Loud and clear.
Were you not? Were you not following me the whole time?
No, I missed that. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
now I understand.
Kevin's banging it out.
He does have a girlfriend.
He's sponsored by Viagra. He's got a girlfriend.
He is.
Put two and two together. Which, by the way, you can get a free month of Cialis or sildenafil at bluechew.com. Promo code, I don't remember what the promo code, TRT. Promo code TRT. So we've got clinics that work with us that we've compared, that we review, kind of an unbiased breakdown of what they offer and what they cost and whatnot. If you're needing a clinic, these are all clinics that are open right now. They treat telemedically over like a Skype call, something like this, and they mail your medication. We've got most of them listed up at testosteronepodcast.com/discounts. And there's a new one. We've got a new clinic to add right now.
Do tell.
Yeah. So let me read my phone. I'm not going to go over the details of all the other ones, but there are clinics on there that accept insurance. There are clinics on there that have one price and just kind of include everything you'd need. And then there are clinics on there that you can kind of a la carte, pick what you need and go from there.
With like step levels or tiers, basically.
Yeah. If you just want testosterone, it's, X $80 a month. If you want testosterone and HCG, whatever, price changes. So this is Performance Boost Center. Contact is Dean. Got an email, thepbccenter@gmail.com. Clinic phone number 949-612-7811. Now, the doctor is Dr. James Sandor Hurwitz, and they're in Newport Beach, California. So,
nice.
This one is not an all 50 state kind of deal. They just treat California. And I'll just read through their questionnaire. So, they specifically treat in Orange County. They accept all PPO insurance and Medicare for blood work. Treatment is cash-based. And they can submit super bills for patients to take to their insurance carrier after treatment's paid. So I guess they provide you with a receipt. You send it to your insurance. About 50% of their patients are using insurance. What are you doing over there? What are you doing over
sorry.
there?
Gosh, I don't know. My phone.
50% use insurance. So the process would be, nope, he didn't answer that question. I should have probably proofread this, I guess. They check CBC, PSA, estradiol, free and total testosterone, and sex hormone binding globulin for cash patients. Insurance patients, they do much more comprehensive blood work. They do a CMP, a CBC, HbA1c, lipids, B12, cortisol, HSCRP, DHEA, estradiol, ferritin, folate, FSH, insulin, iron, LH, magnesium, phosphorus, prolactin, progesterone, PSA, SHBG, free and total T, TSH, T3, total, T4 free, uric acid, vitamin D, 25OH. I have no idea what that 25OH is.
So like basically a full men's hormone panel.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like
and
for
beyond.
insurance patients. Yeah.
They do lab requests at 3 months. They do a second one at 6 months. They do one at 9 months. And then after that, 2 to 3 a year. Cash patients, I mean, they're basically just checking the same stuff every time. I'm not going to read that giant list of labs again. A normal protocol would be initial visit. They do consultation and blood work. They meet with the doctor and begin treatment on the second visit. Then they do typically weekly in-house or self-administered injections. So that's an option that, you know, most guys want to be able to inject it themselves, but you always come across the guy that doesn't, right? Like that needs to have that help. So this light is throwing me off. It really does look like my eye won't open, but I promise it's just as open as the other one.
What was the price?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
So
holding out on us.
Yeah. They can do topical cream, which just don't, right? Just don't do it. And then they can do pellets if you request it.
Also.
Yeah. Also.
Even less than cream.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
So testosterone, they do an anastrozole if needed. They offer a 3-month program for $250 a month, a 6-month for $200 a month, or a 12-month for $162 a month. So that 12-month program's, you know, pretty competitive. If they add HCG, the price goes up to $283, $233, and $195. So a little bit higher than, you know, some of the ones that we like to work with. And so they'll do 15% off for TRT community members. Nice. And for anyone listening right now.
Only in the state of California.
Only in the state of California. Well, yeah.
Which is a huge chunk of population, so
it is. Get asked fairly often from California residents, you know, where they can treat. So that's kind of the reason I don't like accepting, like I guess partnerships with clinics that only treat in one state, but because a lot of guys in California need help, that's why we took them on. So they'll do the 15% off. I didn't do the math, so you can do the math there. 15% off. 162 is their cheapest program. You're going to have to tell them that you heard about them here for them to do that discount. And that's basically it. You know, everything else is pretty much the same. So
very cool.
Yeah. Moving on. It's weird to me being on Facebook Live, you know, not having the intro. It doesn't feel like we're really here right now.
Working without a net.
Not having like a formal, you know, here we are.
And a hello, Brandon, as you were.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, your eye is fully open. I can tell.
Look, yeah, I took my glasses off. It's working.
It really wasn't a problem before. I think you were just being subconscious about it.
So I've been, first of all, I'm on the wrong page of notes. So let me flip my page. But have you ever gotten on TikTok?
Nope, never downloaded it. I don't really understand it.
I would recommend you keep it that way. And it may be the 36-year-old coming out in me. I don't know. But I got on it because I thought, you know, it's another platform. Maybe I can create a TRT community, whatever page, and TikTok a bit. However, it's so confusing.
How's it going?
It's so I haven't created anything, and I'm not going to. I'm going to delete it. It's addicting. I find myself watching it too much, And the platform sucks. Like what they do, they have a certain amount of time to record, right? Like, I don't know what it is, 30 seconds or a minute. And every fucking video on there is to be continued. It's a look at part 2 to see, what was going on. But there's no like link to part 2. The only way you can find part 2 is to go to the profile of the person that posted the video and like scroll through all their junk. So anyway, that's all.
This is 30 seconds at a time or whatever it is.
Maybe
10 seconds.
Yeah, maybe 60. It's long. Okay. It's kind of like Vine. You remember Vine, right?
Yeah, but Vine was only 6 seconds.
Right. So it's like an extended version of Vine. People do like dance moves on there. There's some funny stuff. It's just hard to navigate, and it makes me feel like I'm 100 years old. So it offends me.
I'm a guy that's still. I had Snapchat for a while, and it became too complicated for me to even try to understand it. Like, I'm good with Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me. It seems like Instagram has all the functionality of Snapchat. So I was like, why do I have, it's so like a duplicating efforts here. So I just.
Instagram does not have all the functionality of Snapchat.
What else? Oh, the delete. If you wanted to like, talk with someone, it'll delete your chat or
it'll tell on you.
You're
it'll tell on you if you screenshot something or say
your
something.
sketchy, sketchy picture that you send your crush or something.
Yeah, it's good for nothing but throwing around. Yeah. There's some crazies on Snapchat for sure.
Yeah, another reason that I deleted it too. So I don't have any business being on it. It doesn't make, and it's I can't figure it out.
You could spice things up and send snaps to Megan and whatever.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No. So part of why I mentioned TikTok is because I kind of fell into this rabbit hole of watching videos of people sending things into outer space. And I mentioned it to you.
Oh, okay. This is where this. Okay, this is why we're doing it. Okay.
So it progressed to YouTube. TikTok was the marijuana, and then YouTube was the heroin. So I fell into a YouTube web of people sending things in. I say outer space, but obviously it's not outer space. They're sending them on a weather balloon, and they go like 110,000 feet. So
the stratosphere.
You could argue outer space, stratosphere, whatever the scientific terms are. I'm not a scientist, so I'm just going to say outer space.
A layer of the ozone.
Yeah, it's high enough that you can see the curvature of the Earth. Okay. Yeah. So they send these things up. They build a little box. They put a GoPro in there and some hand warmers. They send whatever into space. So, like for example, this one guy sent a Big Mac into space.
Awesome.
It 100,000 feet in the air. It fell back down with the parachute. He went and located it like 200 miles from his house, and he ate the Big Mac. So
okay, let's back up and piece this apart. Hand warmers, because it'll freeze if it goes too hot. Like
the camera will just shut down and freeze.
Oh, okay. The hardware in the camera. We're not concerned about what's in the package freezing, or are we?
Right. Well, so the way that they do it. Okay. The way they do it is they put the camera in the package, and then the Big Mac is outside of the package being filmed, just in the elements, just out there in the open. Like it's a box, and it's got like this little diving board. The Big Mac sitting on the diving board. The camera's watching the Big Mac, and the Big Mac is watching Earth, and it's just floating up into space.
Secure. It's not going to topple over and fall back to
No,
Earth.
It's got some zip ties around the burger, so that it stays put on the diving board. And it's fascinating to watch a Big Mac travel 100,000 feet in the air and then fall back to the Earth and then be eaten by some British guy. It was fascinating to me. So that got me thinking, what would happen to a vial of cypionate if we sent it up into space, And I really want to do it. I know what would happen. It's going to freeze. It's going to come back down, crystallize, and it's not going to be injectable. So my first thought is, I can't possibly send a controlled substance like that into outer space, because that stuff's like gold to us. I don't want to waste it, but it might be worth it just to see what happens. And if not, I don't know, you shoot some HCG up there or an Anastrozole. That's where AIs belong.
You'd be out $40-something and whatever the weather balloon costs.
Yeah, well, the weather balloon's like $200. So all together, I'd buy a GoPro. It would cost me like $1,000 to pull this off, but I'm really tempted to do it.
How much do you know about weather balloons
0.
and their ability to track and retrieve the weather balloon? I mean, I'm asking because I have no clue. Like,
Yeah, no, I know none.
all I'm picturing right now is that, like, going out to your, like, when you were a kid, or maybe for a class in school, you went out to the field behind your school and you did one of those
Yeah.
model rocket things,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh cow, it went like 200 feet in the air, and you're like, that's
Right.
awesome. That's what I was picturing, but you're talking about, reaching to see the curvature of the earth. We're obviously talking a much higher,
Yeah, over 100,000 feet.
over commercial plane flight,
Oh yeah,
like, heights. Okay.
yeah. What's that? That's 20 miles. 20 miles up.
My
Negative 50
gosh.
degrees Fahrenheit. So
Okay.
cold. But that your knowledge is my knowledge. That's the extent of my knowledge. Shooting those model rockets into the air, catching them when they come down. This is nothing like that, because I mean it can travel 200 miles from your house. That this guy had to drive.
Okay. So
So
you'd be willing to drive to Oklahoma City or whatever
yeah,
from
or
here, or
almost Houston.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost Houston.
Yeah, I would. I'm fascinated, and I wanna know what happens, and I'll spend $1,000 to do it. I think it's worth it.
And do a live broadcast of the unboxing, and then
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yep.
inject yourself with whatever it is while you're at it.
And it's not even the $1,000 that would bum me out the most. It's the fact that I would then be out of testosterone for however long, because it's going to come back ruined for sure.
It's that sweet content karma that you'd be going after. That's priceless.
That viral TRT video. That's what we're looking for.
Exactly.
So, yeah, look forward to that in the future, because if we're quarantined for much longer, I'm definitely going to send something into space on a weather balloon. And it takes so propane, the propane tanks that go like on a regular barbecue grill or whatever, just something in your backyard, takes like 6 of those full of helium to fill this balloon. It's a big balloon.
Okay.
So 6 of those canisters to fill this balloon up. And then,
is there an Amazon Prime for weather balloons?
Probably. You can probably get it by May 5th at this point, because Amazon Prime is
no
longer Prime.
Yeah, shouldn't we get some sort of credit back for this period of time?
I think we should, or they should release, paid movies for free or something.
Yeah.
So the reason for this podcast today is because we get a lot of questions in the group, and we try to address them here often. And I've been thinking a lot about penile sensitivity. I don't know if you've seen it, but quite a few guys in the group talk about, once they start TRT, they lose sensitivity in their penis. And
I'm glad you brought it up, and I don't mean to interrupt, but there was a post that I took a snapshot of, and because I wanted to discuss it, because I like weather balloons and sending things into space. I don't have much knowledge in this area, and like where I've never heard of this before on in relation to TRT. So educate me, and I will have lots of questions, I'm sure.
do you have the post on your phone?
If it's the same one, I hope it's the same way. It's like my doc, and I think you had interacted with the guy on it or commented on it. My doctor and I have just run a few trials on me as a test case, and I thought I would share. Many on here seem to have the same issue, and I've had all my life, and that is reduced sensitivity. I get rock hard quickly and stay hard for hours, but on average, it can take me for 2 to 3 hours.
This is a family show. You can't say rock hard.
My penis gets erect. That's scientifically
it's medical? Yeah, go for
friendly. Okay. But it can take me on average, it can take me 2 to 3 hours or longer when I did not give up to climax.
Wow.
Prolactin's fine. Can we just stop there? And that's incredible. I'd be a ball of sweat at that point. I don't know. Like, I don't mean to. This is a serious topic, but it's that's, man. props to that guy for being able to do that. For would be swimming in a pool of my sweat if that case. Anyway,
and tears probably.
and yeah, because it's a family show. Anyway,
Whoa,
prolactin's.
whoa. Wait, why? What happened just now?
I feel like your dick would be raw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that depends on a lot of factors.
Okay. Moving on. Prolactin's fine, but all other levers are fine. A lot of train of thoughts, but wanted to try anything to increase sensitivity. And no HCG for 6 months, up to 750 units, two times a week did not work. We tried oxytocin. Tocin is used to blah, blah, blah. He prescribed a compound tablet from his online pharmacy. Taking 5 to 10 minutes before sexual activity should last 2 to 3 hours in the system. He talks about increasing that dose increasing. He was taking 20 units, 50 units, taking up to 60 to 70 units of the oxytocin. But he goes on to talk about how this doctor is kind of looking after his own interests. But there were some comments, and one of the guys.
You're twirling your hair on live television.
That's what I do. It's my fidget spinner.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I do when I've. And then there was conversation throughout it, and I believe you commented in here. I didn't have your comments, but the guy asked about circumcision, asking about consider changing underwear type or something similar.
Oh, that was the post where the guy asked me to take a poll.
And he's like, you were like, you can.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a huge problem for some guys. I think circumcision could have something to do with testosterone production and maybe the sensitivity. And then he talks more about changing the underwear type to briefs or something like that. And anyway, I'm rambling on, and that kind of got me thinking, like, this is the first time hearing about this. I've not experienced this myself personally. So,
yeah. So, there aren't a lot of topics that I would come on here and talk about that I'm not really sure about, right? But this is one. I have no idea. I don't know what the correlation is between TRT and penile desensitivity, but I can tell you that it's real. I don't know that I've experienced it, but enough guys talk about it in the Facebook group that I do believe that it's a thing. So I've got some theories, I guess. I don't think that it has anything to do with, at least on a large level, with the type of underwear that you're wearing. I don't think that it has anything to do with whatever else that guy mentioned necessarily.
I think that would more have to do with like blood flow if you weren't.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't think circumcision plays a part, at least not in the mass issue that it seems to be in the Facebook group. Because I get asked this question fairly often, either in the group or email or private message, like, guys, this is a thing, it's real. So I don't know. I think that it's probably likely. Because I think that it's likely that it has something to do with the HPTA being shut down if you're just on testosterone. Because if you think about what some of the guys are saying, and this is a family-friendly show, so I'm not going to say it here. Think about what some of the guys are saying about their problems before HCG, and then what HCG does specifically to their volume, right?
Okay.
Like,
yep.
I think that it's probably HPTA related, but I'm kind of in the middle of consulting with some doctors about it to see, and even them, I asked, a couple of doctors, hey, this is a thing, what do you think? And their response was, that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. So they're doing some research, and hopefully we'll have a better answer in the near future.
And possibly a future podcast episode with an interview with an expert in the field.
Yeah, for sure. Whichever one of them comes up with the best answer, I guess I'd love to talk to them, here and see what they have to say.
What was their theory? Like, let me look at it one more time, because as a as a circumcised person, family show.
I can't believe you said that.
I don't know what it. I don't know what it means to be uncircumcised, But what's the angle? Like it's just rubbing on the inside of that skin, and
I would
you
assume that
get desensitized by that motion, or
I'm assuming that he was saying that circumcised individuals have the issue and uncircumcised individuals don't. And my guess would be that his angle is that circumcision uh, screws up some nerves or something.
yeah, he did say, "I'm sure someone's about to roll up here and tell me your foreskin's just a flap of skin. Couldn't be more wrong. Just like your aorta is a valve in your heart. Pretty sure it's there for a reason."
It's not a bad point. I subscribe to that theory about a lot of other things, pregnenolone and DHEA and whatnot. You know, when you're not taking HCG, it's there for a reason. So there could be something to it. I just don't think that that's the specific issue within the TRT community. I think that it has more to do with TRT, and I think that the only reasonable answer would be that it has to do with some kind of precursor, some kind of other hormone that ceases when your HPTA shuts down. It's got to be like a preg or a DHEA or something like that. So more experiments to come, more research to come, more come to come. I don't feel good about this. Listen, this is really different than just podcasting because my grandmother could be watching this or might watch this. She's never going to find the podcast, but you know, like
She knows how to work Facebook.
yeah. And so because of things like that, I kind of hate it here. So let's move on. I guess we can get just as uncomfortable. You mentioned that you hadn't been feeling so hot lately.
Yeah, without getting too personal.
You don't want my grandmother to listen to what's going on,
or your mother-in-law. You know,
hi Jules.
We already know. Yeah. So this past weekend, and I've belabored this to death, but my wife and I are currently wanting to get pregnant.
Did you say belabored?
Kind of belaboring the story, I suppose. Does that fit?
I think so. Context clues, let me know what it means, but I would have to Google that myself had I not used context clues.
Just droning on and on about a certain subject or point in an argument, maybe. Okay. Anyways, we're trying to get pregnant. We'd like that. We'd like that to happen. Been trying for about a year. Really not interested in pursuing advanced fertility treatments at this point in time. We're just trying to work the timing of it out every month when that window's open. And my current struggle has been kind of these swings of inconsistent libido problems that come with having low T. That's one of the symptoms that comes along with it. So currently working through treatment with that to try to improve that, to try to get that corrected. And there are some weeks, right? So this current struggle is right now. There's some weeks where things are going great, where third shift warning. We're having sex. We're trying.
Is it as big as it's ever been?
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it?
Yes, but that's not really relevant to the conversation.
It might be.
What's relevant is my interest or lack thereof here on a week-to-week basis, and the inability for that to be there's no consistency right now, and it's driving me crazy. And so this past weekend, there was that window is open, and I didn't have any sort of interest in it. I just couldn't, nobody was home. But the previous weekend, things were good, rocking and rolling. Twice in one day. that
What?
hasn't happened in a long time. And so it's like, what's going on with my body here? I don't really understand. And it's majorly frustrating, super discouraging to be there. And you're like, well, here goes another month of nothing's going to happen because nothing did happen during the window that it needed to happen.
Yeah.
So I think this past Sunday was probably a low point for me, just on a mentally and emotionally. Felt like I'm broken. Something's wrong. Patience is wearing thin on seeing this through. I don't know, just
Yeah.
really, really frustrated and really, and I shared that with her, in just an honest, open way that I can. I mean, the conversation is really difficult when the burden's on you to contribute to that, the tango, if you will.
Sure.
And your body just has no interest. Your mind and your body just don't have any interest in ability to do that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Stuff. And it, in my opinion, at first you said that you made the wise decision, said that you're probably going to go get some labs pulled, check your E2, check your prolactin, all
I
that kind of thing.
so I did, jumping in. I did actually purchase the requisitions. I went today, not realizing that prolactin needs to be fasting. So I rescheduled for tomorrow. It's in a Tom Thumb, like the Quest Diagnostics. It's inside a Tom Thumb. It's inside a grocery store.
It's weird.
And I think I found somebody on the group that was like, I don't know if I should name the lab place. It's like Ulta Labs or something, Ulta Lab
Yeah.
something.com. Fairly reasonable. So I'm getting total and free in SHBG and prolactin checked. Um,
You missed out on a promo
too.
code. We've got a promo code with them, so you
Oh,
paid
no,
more.
I got 20% off.
Ooh, la la la. I don't know what
So,
our discount is. I rarely send guys to places like that for some reason.
well, they sent me, they said you get 20% off for your first purchase. So, but next time I will use that. Anyway, go ahead. Yes, I am. So tomorrow I'll be getting those things checked because I
Yeah.
don't have another appointment with Rach for another month.
Rach, yeah. I was supposed to have coffee with her and
Oh,
the owner of Integrative Medical to talk about things, but COVID, so coffee's not safe anymore. In fact, the coffee shop that we were going to go to is closed and may never reopen.
what's the coffee shop?
I don't remember what it's called, but it's
Is it in
there's
Coppell?
yes. Do you know what
Is
I'm
it
talking about?
is it George Coffee and
Yes,
Provisions?
yes, it is.
Great place.
Yeah, really cool place. It's places like that that may not ever recover from this that makes me
Makes
really
me sad.
yeah, because they're
And
really
yet
cool.
Yeah, and yet Chili's and Applebee's will carry
Yeah,
on.
yeah, they'll be fine.
I hate seeing that.
And the TRT
Anyway,
community will be fine. In fact, TRT telemedicine business is thriving right now because it's easier than
highly
going into
is
your doctor.
highly #essential.
Yeah. So
What
yeah, I mean, my first thoughts are one, the labs are a good idea, but two, we're going through this like traumatic time as people, and we're trapped in the house and we can't go anywhere or do anything. So I wonder if some of it, and then coupled with the fact that you guys have been trying for a long time, if it's not like a mental block of some kind, just like, or maybe even a combo of, you know, blood work and mental, just being locked up and quarantined and not getting much sunshine, that kind of thing.
I don't I don't doubt that what you're saying is true. It has been a mental a large mental adjustment for all of us. And there could be some anxiety just living in there, and I'm not able to, for whatever reason, it's just that's jamming up the works in my head. It just, I think Aubrey on the group said at one time, I saw him comment, he said a lot of times the biggest, um, the biggest culprit in like libido issues or ED issue, whatever it might be, is between your ears.
Yeah, yeah,
It could very well be you're just overthinking it, or you just stuff swirling around up there, and you're just not able to focus on the moment.
yep.
Um, so I don't doubt that that's probably going on also.
It's possible. I told you about the medication that Rachel started me on, right, for psoriasis, the Otezla.
So this is the
Yeah,
one that's like new, and you're kind of a proof of concept guy.
yeah. Well, not just. I mean, it's proven, but the insurance companies don't approve it. They don't believe that it's proven. So the company
Oh yeah.
basically gives it to you for free because insurance denies it. They give it to you for free because they want more people to be using it so that they can at some point prove concept to the insurance companies and have it covered. So they're taking one from the team now to get the big payoff later. But I was on Humira for nearly 10 years, and then I got pneumonia last fall for
Right.
months and stopped taking it because death, right? Like it's an immunosuppressive drug, and then so I just stopped.
Horrible trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went, I don't know, 5-6 months without anything, and then I started this Otezla, and I feel awful. Like I can tell when I take it in the morning and take it at night. It's a pill, and I feel like it's a cancer drug. I mean, it drains me. I can sit at my computer, and at first I didn't realize what it was. I can sit there and I can just feel like I'm dying, have no energy, can barely keep my eyes open, feel like I'm on chemo, and yeah, it's the worst.
How
So
long have you? Is this a week? Are we a week in?
probably 2 weeks in, 2.5 weeks in.
Okay.
And what I've read
Notice
is,
any improvement to your
I think so.
psoriasis?
I think so.
Okay.
Usually, even with Humira, it'll take 6 or 8 weeks for it to, or longer, for it to fully clear. But with Humira, I was 99% clear for 10 years. So I don't know if this will work, but it makes me feel like crap. And from what I've read, the side effects can last a month or two. So hopefully I'm going to power through and see if it, if I don't ever feel any better, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep taking it, because within like 30 minutes of it, and then for the next 2 or 3 hours, I feel dead.
But the benefits are that the immunocompromise, there's not as big
Yeah.
effect on that
Yeah. It's not a
immune system.
biologic. Yeah. So Humira is a biologic. It just basically what psoriasis it does is it's your immune system attacking your body. So like if you get a scrape or a cut on your arm, the psoriasis part of your immune system will think that needs to be healed, and then it will heal it over and over and over again, and it's like this buildup of skin cells. So
Ah,
so what Humira does is it just lowers your immune system, because it's your immune system that's attacking your body, and it's just like we're just going to squash the immune system so that the immune system can't attack the body. Otezla works differently, and I don't know what it does, but it's some sort of something blocker. So it just blocks something different. But from what I've heard, it's successful. So giving it a shot.
all right. Sounds good. No more
Yeah.
Topamax.
No. Yeah. I
Yeah.
stopped that. I'm
Stuffy
still.
nose. The stuffy nose thing was bothering you too
Yeah.
much.
I'm
Yeah.
still stuffy. Like I haven't taken it in probably 2 weeks, and I'm still like using Afrin once or twice a day, and just it's bizarre how that works. So for you that don't know, Rachel put me on Topamax to see, we're checking for other autoimmune disorders. So she said, cut down on your soda intake, and I was like, F
Yeah.
off. I don't want to cut down on my. So she gave me the Topamax, which is for migraines, but it also, that the main side effect of Topamax is that it removes your life. Basically, it removes your mouth's ability to taste the carbonation in carbonated beverages. So the very first day I took it, I came home and drank a soda, and tasted like somebody had been shaking the can for the last 3 years. It was awful. So
It went into a paint shaker.
yeah. So, I've been off the Topamax for about 2 weeks and haven't had, a Coke or anything since then. So maybe my desire for them has been ruined forever. So thanks, Rachel. Appreciate that. But then we got a bunch of blood work done. In fact, I probably should have looked at the results. Gosh, I had more blood work done a couple weeks ago than I've ever had in my life. I mean, it was the notes in my phone were huge on everything that she tested for. So
like 10 different vials.
yeah, probably like 8. And it, I don't know what all she tested, but it was some stuff that I had never seen before. In fact, I lost my train of thought. Appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, I did realize, or I did discover that I've always thought that I had high sex hormone binding globulin, but it's actually low. So I would potentially benefit from, 5 smaller injections instead of 1 or 2 bigger ones.
Yeah, that was part of our discussion the other day. I was part of the reason why I'm pursuing this independent blood work is to see where I'm at with that, because I feel like I'm high because I've been doing the smaller doses.
Yeah.
Breaking them up. So.
Well, and I always felt that way too, and I was really surprised to see that I'm not. So part of that too is guys that do more frequent injections never really feel the peak, because they're just maintaining that even level. So they always feel pretty good. Whereas when you do one, you feel really great and then not so great. Mm-hmm. So it's a common complaint when you do, 3 to 5 injections a week that I don't feel the same. Well, that's because your levels aren't going up here and then coming down here. They're staying consistent.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just end this abruptly. That's all I got.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know how to end it.